shot on the front, blue buckets, blue bottoms. Tor Linden, Ryan Kerwin, Kevin Wall, the forwards to start, with Carter Shade and Jimmy Dow Jr. back on D. Penn State wins the opening face-off. Off we go from Pegula tonight. The Nittany Lions from right to left. Can't clear their zone. Stolen by Randy Hernandez. Darts through the slot, carries near circle. Out front, shot, and Grandin sliding to his right. It was flubbed in front of the goal by Master Donato. Now a redirect by Master Donato on a shot by Lambert from the near point. And under siege early is the freshman goaltender Noah Grandin, right back into the Penn State zone. Kuznetsov near wing Hernandez. The leading scorer, Master Donato, goes right to the front of the goal. He has the puck, stealing it from Dowd behind the net. Back to the line. Canisius holds and works point to point. Lambert near point. Fires, blocked by Dowd. Ricochets back deep slot. Kept alive there inside the Penn State zone by Miloragny. And now Penn State clears, bouncing puck to center. McMenamin trying to reel that in the neutral zone. Instead, it's picked up by Hernandez. A good opening shift for that top line for Canisius. Chips it back in to the Penn State zone. 55 seconds in, opening period, no score. It leaks along the goal line and creeps in towards the net, guarded by Grandin, and he'll cover up out to his left. Penn State goaltender, again, 6'2", freshman out of Germantown, Wisconsin. He's a 20-year-old goalie. And Eric, you're hoping he can get some easy saves early, I think, to settle in.
Yeah, well, that first chance right on the doorstep as Grandin was sliding to his left, the puck went to, or sliding to his right rather, the puck went to his left, and I think Carter Shade was able to clear it away.
There's a left toe save by Grandin. The first official shot on goal comes from Javon at the near point, and now Geniev gets the steal, marches his way through center. A 3-on-2 develops, leaves it back shown, darting in near a circle, tripped down, shot on goal, kicked out by Hawthorne. Delayed call coming up on the Griffins, and it's touch going back to the far point. Miato with the contact as Grandin bolted to the bench for the extra attacker. So despite the first shift living in the Penn State zone, you see the speed of Geniev going the other way, along with Schoen. That creates a scoring chance and draws a penalty. Penn State with the early power play here. Just 1:17 into this opening period.
Yeah, Canisius had the better start to this game, but that quick transition through the neutral zone is going to be really important for Penn State. They get in, Geniev stops up, tries to slip in Schoen with a backhand pass, and he gets tripped down.
Kerwin off the face-off shot, blocker saved by Hawthorne. Sliding out to his right, Kerwin had one of the 5 goals for Penn State last night. They had 5 different goal scorers, 1 for 3 on the power play. Penn State point-to-point wall, slips it near corner. Surveying there, Linden goes back, Berger, high slot, shot, score! Top shelf snipe! Christian Berger! Power play goal! Bar down, and it's 1-0 Nittany Lions!
5.
Christian Berger with the goal, 1:36 in. What a rocket by Berger on the power play!
So Penn State didn't start that power play unit that was really good moving the puck last night. They go with that 1B power play unit. Christian Berger ultimately gets the puck at the high point, lets a shot go, high glove, a lot of traffic in front, tough for Hawthorne to see, but Berger placed it perfectly for just his 3rd career goal.
And Berger, who had 4 shots on goal last night, was very involved offensively. Penn State ices it here. And look, that does a couple of things. Now you have a power play goal in back-to-back games to start the year. Really good. It also takes some pressure off Noah Grandin at the other end.
Yeah, exactly. And he made a really good left toe save through some traffic earlier for his first save of the game. That hopefully helped him just settle in a little bit, even though he's been under a little bit of pressure. But having a 1-0 lead is really important for a young goalie.
The shot from the near point, a lot of traffic there in front of Grandin. He went down, and that was a positioning save, a butterfly stop, a small rebound, covers up, leaning out to his left. And Linden gets the primary assist. He has 3 assists right away to start his Penn State career. Wall, the secondary assist, as it's Berger scoring for Penn State from Linden and Wall on the power play. And Penn State has a 1-0 lead. And again, it's that presence in front of the net where Penn State was really good last night. The screens helping Berger score that goal. Penn State 3-on-2. McEachran far wing into the attacking zone. Calder, McEachran driving the goal. Unable to angle that on. Back behind Hawthorne. Canisius out of its own zone. Hudson Lambert pass far wing. Here come the Griffins through center. Fluttered in towards Grandin. Vacuums in a skipping puck, sliding right to left in his goal crease for Penn State. Squeezes it and stops play again. The face-off in the Penn State zone. Terrific start here at home again for the Nittany Lions. As you know, Canisius, as evidenced by that first shift, is going to come hard and fast tonight.
And especially led by this line that's on the ice right now, that top line, Hernandez, Kuznetsov, Mastrodonato.
This is their top scoring unit. I think this line will be as good as any in Atlantic hockey this year. A team that was picked 5th in Atlantic hockey. AIC picked as the preseason favorites. Quick shot off the draw by Mastrodonato. Left-handed wrister is out the far circle. That went wide of Grannon into the near corner. Genev tried to shove it out to center. He's with Schoen and Paquette tonight. That line jumbled a bit from last night for Penn State. Earn bumped it along, kept it in at the line, then gunned down low, redirected towards Grannon. Fought it off with the blocker. Shot was going off target. Lassoed in at center. Paquette, he has speed. Past Genev, dealt back to Paquette near circle in the attacking zone. Unable to get the shot on goal towards Hawthorne. I was surprised to see Barczewski not get the start tonight for Canisius as they clear their end. The Naples regroups at center, recoils, and then fished back along down into the Canisius zone, and Penn State will change. So out they come. Griffins through center, pass far wing into the Penn State zone, galloping after that puck. Vermetin couldn't settle it down out front, cleared away by Kerwin, back to the line, held in and knifed along, but scooped up by Kerwin. Now he'll clear his zone for Penn State. Using his frame in the neutral zone, not only does he have a great shot, he's got a big frame, and he's not afraid to have a physical presence on the ice. Penn State gets it deep, but it's handled by the Griffins. They go D to D below the goal line. Linden, Kerwin, Wall the forwards. Crespo and Berger back on D as the puck is dumped into the Penn State zone. Now Canisius will make a change. Crespo, freshman D, motoring out of the far corner, navigates past 2. Here comes Jared Crespo, lead pass near wing Wall. Darts into the attacking zone, slams on the brakes, tucks it off Kerwin. Kerwin, sharp angle shot, leaping into the air. Hawthorne snares it. Comes back down, makes the save, holds on, and stops play. Penn State the 1-0 lead on the early power play goal from Berger. 16:22 to go here, first period. We're just underway.
And you talk about Kerwin's size and his frame. I think if he can develop that physicality in his game a little bit more, a lot like what Kevin Wall did when he took a big jump in his career, that'll really help.
Hurried a shot, sorry Eric, from the near point. Redirect almost went home at top shelf. And now Penn State one and done out to center. Pass near wing, Pogue into the Penn State zone, gains the zone cleanly as the defenseman, Melaragny, driving the goal, couldn't deflect it on, back near point. Datema, the big 6'5 defenseman who's added to the lineup tonight, gets a shift here despite being listed as the extra skater. His shot was blocked, and Penn State scoots it back down the ice. Melaragny handles behind the goal. Datema, a transfer from Michigan Tech, starts it up the ice, lugs it to his own line. Pass to Alton McDermott, who chips it deep along the near dasher into the Penn State zone. Battle for the puck behind the Nittany Lion goal. Penn State possessing, fumbled a bit, trying to get it up the wall. Alex Servagno chips it through to center. Here comes Penn State 3-on-2. McEachran far wing into the attacking zone. Backdoor feed, Dowd slides it out front, blocked, but gathered in by Calder, who was in front of the goal. Sets up McMenamin for a one-timer. Wipes out, got the shot off despite going off the heel of his stick. Gets the pass back at the line, lets it fly again. Redirected, friendly fire bounces in towards Hawthorne. The goaltender for Canisius, who sprawls out atop his crease and covers up. Good start for Penn State. 1-0 lead, not even 5 minutes into this first.
Yeah, Dowd has that option when he receives the pass to take the shot. Hawthorne hadn't quite gotten over yet to square up to Dowd, but Jimmy elects to make that pass into Calder. It didn't get through cleanly, but I like the vision there by Jimmy Dowd to try to fit that pass in.
Calder, who scored the first goal of the year in his Penn State debut. Face-off far circle won by Penn State, shot by Genev, but they're going to drop it again. A late whistle on the play. Penn State was good on draws last night. Nittany Lions won 55% against a team that was about equal with Penn State last year at 50% overall. Face-off again, far circle. Shown with Genev to his right, Paquette to his left. Dylan Gratton and Paul DeNaples back the line. DeNaples, the 2-year captain, gets the pass back. It never reaches him, and now speeding past DeNaples. Stefano Bettini up the far wing, attempts to center, nothing there. Back behind the goal, it's DeGrande with the puck for Canisius. He's knocked down by Schoen. Penn State does possess here out of their own territory. Genev stumbling a bit, but does launch it through center back into the Canisius zone. Great work by Paquette to rumble in deep, kept it alive, burrowing in now. Some support from Ben Schoen, the speedy sophomore forward. Turned over a slot, Paquette turns, fires, gunned it off the backboard, just wide, hunting blocker side. Great play by Paquette. Despite being off balance to get a hard shot towards the goal, just missed the target. And Paquette had that big year last year with 11 goals for Penn State, and now it's rifled from left to right down by Canisius. They were discombobulated, and they iced the puck. 5:24 into the first period. Nittany Lions are the 1-0 advantage. Shots officially are just 2-1 Penn State. One of the two finding the back of the goal off the stick of Christian Berger from Tor Linden and Kevin Wall on the power play. Penn State with a 1-0 advantage. Face off near circle to the blocker side of Hawthorne. Senior goaltender began his career at Northern Michigan. 10 players have transferred into the Canisius program, 7 new ones this year. Berger, point to point. Crespo drives wide off the backdasher. Quick release on that right-handed shot. Big body there, too, at that far point. Jared Crespo, talented freshman defenseman. It's cleared out to center. Berger recoils back. Canisius trying to change. Berger right back ahead. McEachran to the attacking line, but he delayed a moment. Calder did not delay. He went in, and Penn State enters offside. 1-0 Penn State. Your impressions of the freshman defensemen we saw, Shade and Crespo, both make their debuts last night?
Yeah, well, last night Shade cleared a puck off the goal line. That was a really big play. I really like Crespo's game as well. He did a lot of things well defensively, blocking some shots, knocking pucks out of the air with his glove. I really liked what he did last night.
Here's Kerwin rainbowing it down the ice, rolling puck towards Hawthorne, and he's going to cover up with Linden. Darting towards the net, hunting for that loose biscuit. Covered up by the Canisius goalie face-off in that zone. I'll tell you another play that Shade made that we didn't talk about last night. He had the bank pass out of his own zone, the long exit feed to Kerwin that started, what was that, tic-tac-toe goal, and the big goal scored by Dowd to put Penn State back up 2 in the third.
Yeah, and that was a big moment to convert on an odd man rush in a third period when it's a 1-goal game. It's something that didn't happen much last year.
Kerwin nosing around, centers, looking for Wall. Kept alive by Kerwin. Kerwin and Linden do work along the near boards. Kerwin on the backhand, fires just wide. Got a lot on that one despite being hampered from behind. Down in from the line, passed behind the net. Kevin Wall. Wall mishandled it a bit, fluttered on forward and taken by Canisius Kuznetsov to Hernandez, out to center. The Robert Morris transfer who battled injuries last year, turning far half boards. Laragny tucks it back to the line. Lambert hustles over near point and keeps. Thought about cranking it towards the goal. Instead fed it into the corner, returned back towards the line off of Kerwin and cleared back out to center by the Penn State sophomore forward. And now right back into the Penn State zone. Hernandez gains the attacking zone. Looks for traffic out front. Shot it towards the goal. It was blocked. Rung back to the near point. Earn hurries over and keeps. Blasts it down low. Trampolines off the backboards. Hernandez out of Miami, Florida. Goes back to the line. Point to point now. Earn from the near point, attacking to our right. Penn State up 1-0, nearly 7 minutes in. Twisted out front, right through the top of the goal crease. Couldn't be contacted by Boguslavski, who was near the front of the goal. Too hot to handle. Penn State clearing the zone. Back from left to right, here come the Griffs again. Nothing there at the Penn State line. Good work by Dylan Gratton breaking up that rush. Paul DeNaples, near corner. Hoisted along. Servagno has that pinned at the half boards. Back to the line. Javon pass, deep slot shot, blocked by DeNaples, stumbling and rumbling out of his own zone. The 2-year captain gains the red line, and the 5th-year senior dumps it deep. He'll go off and change. Great play by Paul DeNaples there, who's racking up the blocks. He's second in program history. Pretty soon, I think he'll be number 1. Here comes Canisius out of its own zone again. They're starting to dictate play a little here, 5-on-5. Turned over high, though, and Schoen looks to counter. Nittany Lions zip the other way. Schoen navigates into the attacking zone. Still loose in the high slot. Schoen trying to flag it down. Good back check, though, by Chavon. The defenseman who was caught deep in the Penn State zone broke up that rush. Out through center. Now it's Schoen again at his own line. Wiggles there, twists on back, curls and surveys. Hands back for Christian Berger inside his own zone with some pressure from Bowman. Angles it out to center, no further than the red stripe, loose in front of the Penn State bench. Dealt off, and here comes Geniev. Flies into the attacking zone. Pass to Paquette, looks to return to Geniev, far half boards. He has that stolen, back to the line. Dowd able to keep for a moment. Now it squirts past him, 3-on-1 into the Penn State zone. McDermott drops it. Bowman slot shot. He scores! Blocker side on Grannon, and it's a tie game at 1. Nick Bowman, the graduate student, with the goal for Canisius as they capitalize on the odd man breakout and tie the game at 1. 11:41 to go here in the opening period, and the transfer from RPI has the Griffs even with the Nittany Lions here in the first.
So Dowd and Shade are the defensemen that are back. They're in relatively good position, but Dowd isn't able to get a stick on the pass. Shade is squared up to Bowman, but he doesn't quite extend out to put pressure on. He stays home a little bit, might have actually screened Grannon. Bowman beats Grannon over the blocker.
Back to the Penn State line, squirts past Dylan Gratton, and Penn State does scoot the puck back out to center off a body at the red line. Here come The Griffs again, Pogue behind him. Penn State looks to counter. McMenamin darting through center. Man lost an edge. Clean into the attacking zone near circle. Lets it fly. And a shoulder save by Hawthorne. Swept towards the front of the goal by DeNaples, who was caught in deep. Could not get that pass all the way out front. Forked into the air, McMenamin. Back out to center, McEachran. DeNaples red line. Angles forward, far wing. Calder fakes. Lets it fly. Blocked, and that stays in play off the back glass and taken by the Griffs inside their own zone. 9 minutes in, opening period. This game now tied at 1. Pogue through center, had the big series last year against Penn State. These two teams split here. Nittany Lions control inside their own zone. He did not have numbers in his favor. It's Bowman from McDermott, the goal. And Canisius tying it up at 1. Through center, dances Tor Linden, handed back. Kerwin, shot, block, bouncing puck. Linden follows up and scores! Tor Linden! His first as a Nittany Lion. Penn State goes back in front. Linden rifling top shelf from the near circle. Penn State a 2-1 lead. 10:37 to go, opening period.
Wow, what a shot from Linden. Just stings that top corner. Kerwin let one go, gets deflected, blocked, pops into the air, falls to Linden. All in one motion, he gathers this puck and slings it top corner, barred down. I thought maybe the shot was going to go wide. I was waiting for it to catch the back glass, and all of a sudden, it's in the net. That's a ridiculous shot from a tough angle, too, along the near half wall.
20 of his now 30 career goals came last year. Field clear blast from the far point. Crespo, that's a howitzer off the backboards. And Linden now has his first as a Penn State Nittany Lion. He loves playing against Canisius, by the way. In 3 career games coming into tonight, a goal and 4 assists. Stolen by Tyler Gratton. Scurries into the near circle. Power move, throws it towards the goal wide. Off the backboards. Tuck a step by Linden at the side of the goal. Wouldn't go. Gratton keeps it alive deep. Gratton motors behind the goal. Hoist it back to the line. Shade dancing at the near point. He's tripped down. There's no call. Player lost a stick in his skates. That was Boguslavsky. Fortunate to not get called for a tripping call. 9:50 to go, first period. Building, jumping here. Penn State a 2-1 lead. Tor Linden from Ryan Kerwin and Kevin Wall. Big starts to this new season for that trio. That line really has great synergy here in the early going. Puck deep in the Canisius zone. Good forecheck from Servagno. Puck is rolling towards the goal and just hammered out of there by Buckley in a precarious spot. Buckley far corner up the boards. Dowd keeps, guns it off the back dasher. That went wide, stays in play. Hawthorne has no idea where the puck is, and now sniped from the near half boards. A left-handed snapper by Tyler Gratton is gloved by the Canisius goaltender, who all of a sudden here is under siege. As Penn State has retaken the lead 2-1 on a beauty by Tor Linden for his first goal, wearing the blue and white. This is Penn State hockey. And here in game number 2 of the season against Canisius at Pegula Ice Arena. The go-ahead goal by Tor Linden from Ryan Kerwin and Kevin Wall. Nittany Lions with the puck attacking to our left. From low to high, DeNaples far point shot, redirected. Looking for that tip at least was Connor McEachran between the rings. Now McMenamin centers for McEachran, settles it down, far circle off a glove. DeNaples far point shot sticked out by Hawthorne. Penn State really letting its presence be felt here in the attacking zone. McMenamin trying to knife free, hands for McEachran behind the net. Calder is out front. That's the trio of forwards. Low to high again. DeNaples far point shot, looking for a tip. It went just wide. McMenamin set up out front, guns into the goaltender. Hawthorne, terrific position. He made the save to his right, down on both knees as McMenamin was in the low slot, and his left-handed shot was stoned by Hawthorne. Big stop there as Penn State's coming with fire right now.
Saw another look at the Linden goal. Just ridiculous. Tough angle. Catches the far corner where the crossbar meets the post.
Face-off win. Schoen's shot blocked from the top of the near circle and elevated out of there by Canisius all the way down towards Grannon. Berger scooped it up right atop his goal crease, and he'll dump it down right to left the other way. Paquette races down. Can't cancel icing. He doesn't like the call, nor do the 1,000 students off to our left in the roar zone. I'm not sure this broadcast team agreed with the call either, but the faceoff will be back in the Penn State zone after the icing.
I thought he had a step on Decker. I thought he was closer to that puck. But yeah, Paquette sneaky with the speed. We saw that really come into his game last year, and again, with his shot, got a really fast release. We saw that earlier in this period.
Shots are now 8-2 Penn State. Eric, they have tipped the ice here over the last couple of minutes of play. Chavon from the near point after Canisius won the faceoff in the Penn State zone. Miato is pinned in the corner by 2. Creeps on free, reeled in by Schoen, shovels out to center, misplayed by Chavon, back to the Canisius line. Good play by Jackson Decker, an offensive-minded defenseman, to get it forward to the Penn State line. Miato near wing, closed out beautifully by Crespo. Geniev rescues in his own zone, winds it back behind the goal for Carter Shade. The Mars, Pennsylvania native has his long exit pass picked off, 3-on-2 towards the front of the goal. Nothing comes out of that rush. DeGrande now has his pocket picked by Geniev. Geniev forces the puck out to center, shoved it as far as the red line. DeGrande dances around one, near wing gains the Penn State zone, fires towards the goal, and it's pinned against the chest of the goaltender. Grannon for Penn State, sliding from right to left. He made the save, holds on. There is no rebound on the play, but you can really feel Penn State tipping the ice here now as their legs start to get going here in the hockey game.
Yeah, they've been able to put more pressure on the Golden Griffins in their defensive zone and then spark some quick transition to get the other way, also holding the puck for much longer in the offensive zone. That's helped Grannon out a little bit. The goalie faced with a really good shot from Bowman.
Puck leaks all the way through Kevin Wall into the attacking end. Centers, comes free, high slot, Shade, a shot just wide. Past the left toe, the goaltender Hawthorne shoveled back to the line, kept far point, Dowd, shot off a body, pinballs wide and rattles into the near corner. Top 2 lines have been terrific for Penn State so far. Linden, Wall, Kerwin out there now. The same can be said about McEachran, McMenamin, and Ashton Calder. 2 transfers have made a difference as Tor Linden has a goal and an assist here in the hockey game. Again tonight, Sarlo through center, scoops it past one. He'll chase after it, near corner attacking end, goes behind the goal. Dylan Lugris centers, off a stick, taken by Dylan Gratton back to the line. DeNaples thought about a one-timer, instead it's a shot pass far corner. Lugris end board, supported by Tyler Gratton. And now the puck bounces away and taken out up the near wing by Boguslavsky. It does just sneak back out to center as far as the Penn State line. Dylan Gratton, near wing pass for Sarlo. He did redirect the puck, no icing here. As Buckley back to receive the puck for Canisius. Penn State gets the steal. Lugris centers, and that splits too all the way back down the ice into the Penn State end. I'm intrigued to see the growth in Lugris' game from year 1, well, half a year 1 to year 2 here in Hockey Valley. What a tremendous surprise he was for the Nittany Lions last year, scoring huge goals in the Big Ten tournament, a mid-season edition. Coming out of the NCDC, Penn State right to left out of its own zone. McEachran banks it up the near wall, chases after it into the attacking zone. Decker is back 1-on-2, throws it out front, careless turnover. McMenamin finally settles it down far halfwards. Calder behind the goal, attempts to sweep it towards the net mouth, unable to do so from behind the net. Mastrodonato left to right the other way, a 2-on-2. It's chipped into the Penn State zone. 5:53 left here, opening period. Nittany Lions with a 2-1 lead. Berger gave it away behind the goal, but supported by McEachran deep in his own zone. Penn State's senior center out to center, and McMenamin swats it from neutral down into the Canisius zone. Both teams change. 5 minutes, 35 seconds remaining here, and another entertaining opening period here to open up this new season in Hockey Valley. Dowd took a hit, body to man off the puck, starts the rush out. Tyler Paquette, rink wide near side, Shade just out of his reach, tries to reach back and slow that down. It's an errant pass by the Griffson down for icing up the near boards as it slithers the length on this 200 by 85-foot NHL side surface here in Hockey Valley. 5:19 left in the first, face-off in the Canisius zone with the Nittany Lions up by 1.
Yeah, and to go back to Lugris, I think, having a full summer here to get in the weight room, go through the conditioning program, he's only going to get stronger and faster. We saw his speed really develop late in the season. Certainly helped as that puck gets shot out of play off the face-off. Certainly helped that at the end of the year he was playing with McEachran and McMenamin. They really brought a lot out of him.
Yeah, and a credit to him to elevate his game to match those guys. You just think of the big goal he scored against Ohio State in a deciding Game 3. He had the huge goal on the power. He was running on the power play in the Big Ten tournament semifinal, a game that Penn State felt they should have won against Minnesota last year. A tremendous finish, and trying to build off that here early to start this season. It's a confident team. They're confident but not cocky. That's a really delicate line to walk, and I think they have a chip on their shoulder because of what the outside prognosticators think about their chances here in this new season. They won the draw. Dowd winds, bombs, block, rolling puck out front, score! Ryan Kerwin
love it.
Knuckled towards the front of the goal, scooped up by Kerwin, who buries it for his second of the season, and it's a 3-1 Penn State lead here in the first.
Gets to the point, the shot actually goes off a Nittany Lions skate and then comes to the front of net, bouncing and twisting, gets to the paint. Kerwin is there, gathers it, slips it past Hawthorne. Got to win faceoffs, and the defenseman's so good at getting pucks towards the net, and that's what happened there.
So Linden has 3 points here in the first period. Kerwin from Dowd and Linden. Jimmy Dowd Jr. also picking up where he left off last night. Now it's Lugris gaining the attacking zone, drops it back down, takes a body, goes into the corner, kept it alive deep. Servagno in traffic there. He was hit up high. Rorzone felt like he got a high stick, no call, as it's rocketed down the ice back into the Penn State zone. Pagula is rocking here in early October. It's going to be a fun year. This team has high expectations, a lot of potential for this group, great leadership, balanced team. A lot of depth. 4:30 to go, first period, 3-1 Nittany Lions. Kerwin is poised to have just a monster sophomore season after 13 goals last year. Put him in the top 10 among freshmen scoring all time in Penn State history. Bank pass near wing, Dylan Gratton attacking line. Linden is in early, enters offside, trying to build on what is already a goal and 2 assist here performance for Tor Linden. He has 5 points in his Penn State career already. And again, we talked about last night, the numbers he put up in a defensive-oriented league in the ECAC were ridiculous. You can only imagine what he'll do in the Big Ten.
He is so good in just the small sample size we've seen from him so far. And last night, not only his ability with the puck is special, his hands are great, but he also brings a big physical element to his game, and we saw that on display. Some big hits, really using his body well along the boards.
And when we talked to Penn State assistant coach Giuliano Pagliaro after the game last night, he was praising his effort at both ends of the ice. Back near wing, Urbank, a shot that had some mustard on it, but it missed blocker side there on Noah Grannon. Ashton Calder sprinting up the far wing, gets to the puck below the far circle, power move, backhand shot just wide, past the right toe of Hawthorne, who lost his glove, so there's the whistle. 3:49 to go first period. Penn State a 3-1 lead, and Ashton Calder showcasing a great burst there, accelerating to get to the puck, and with his frame made a great power move out of the far corner, walking the goal line, and his backhander was just wide of the goal cage.
Yeah, he really shielded that puck well, so Boguslavski can't get a stick in on it. Calder's got a long reach, tried to carry it around that left pad, or right pad rather, of Hawthorne, just ran out of real estate.
3-1 Nittany Lions in front. Goals from Berger, Linden, and Kerwin. Here in the opening period, Bowman had that answer for Canisius, tied the game at 1. Ever since, it's been all Penn State shots are 10-3, another face-off win. Berger shakes, near point shot. Geniev looking for a tip. That went high, still loose inside the Canisius zone. Jammed up the far boards. Hernandez has it. They need a good shift here from their top line. Near wing pass, scooting past one, weaving towards the goal. Now Laragny, the defenseman, got all the way out front, turned it over, and now Penn State counters. Lead pass far wing shown, has a step, lets it fly. Blocker saved by Hawthorne. Did not have enough speed to get an angle towards the goal, and it ends up being a 1-on-2 opportunity. Back across the Penn State line because Netsov's shot was blocked. Penn State fishes it along the far dasher, now far corner deep in its own zone. In those white jerseys, trying to spoon it free, they do. Stays in play off the glass, out through center. Here comes Geniev. He is tied up across the Canisius line. Now he wipes out. Canisius has the puck inside its own zone, but Penn State's forecheck goes to work. Far half board, Servagno trying to squeeze free with that puck. Soccers it along, far circle, bouncing puck. Tyler Gratton on it, peels behind the goal, stuffs it on with the backhand, sealed off by Hawthorne. Gratton back to the line, hands Shade. Shade shot redirected high. Good stick out front by Starlow atop the goal crease. Penn State far corner, can't settle that puck down. Canisius with it behind the goal, 2:35 to go. Opening period, all Nittany Lions right now, a 3-1 lead. Chipped up the far boards. They relieve pressure to center just for a moment. Shade will dart right back to the attacking line, chips it in deep. Took a hard hit there. We saw his physical play last night. Linden gets the puck, winds it back to the line down. Shakes, hands back for Linden, dealt all the way to the end boards, jousted into the air by Wall, jammed on free back behind the goal, taken by Canisius deep inside its own territory. Pogue, one of the 3 captains, out to center off the body. There's another hard hit by Carter Shade across the Penn State line. Bottini gets it into the zone for Canisius. Nothing there as Dowd is trying to escape his pressure, flushing him out from behind the goal. Dowd to Shade. Here comes Penn State with speed through center. Wall chips it up the far boards, gains the attacking zone. Good stick by Kerwin to block away the exit feed. Nearly came up with that puck forechecking. Dylan Gratton back in neutral now. Sails it right back in from right to left. Penn State unrelenting right now here offensively.
Really smothering the Golden Griffins in their own end. There hasn't been easy breakouts for Canisius.
It's a good combination of speed and physicality. Back into the attacking zone. McEachran drops it back. Wall centers. McEachran dangles out front. He's stoned. Got to the rebound. Couldn't get the backhander back off. Far circle. McEachran waits. Slings it backdoor. Dylan Gratton reels it in near half-boards from the goal line. Sharp angle shot is fought off the right shoulder of Hawthorne. Behind the goal. Penn State on it again. McMenamin from low to high. DeNaples winds, bombs, block, rebound, shot. Dylan Gratton atop the crease, low shot. That was block centered again. McMenamin hurries the shot. Saved by Hawthorne. Banked up the near boards and back out to center. Gratton has it there. Canisius needs a change. Penn State not taking its foot off the gas. 1 minute left here in the opening period. 3-1 Nittany Lions into the Penn State zone. Urbank. Now his teammates change. And he'll fly past Dylan Gratton and get a tight angle shot off, and Grannon makes the save down on both knees. He has not seen many shots here. That's just the fourth shot of the period for Canisius. They went nearly 10 minutes without a shot on goal. Shots are 17-4. The score is 3-1 with 50 seconds left in the first.
Yeah, it's just a great offensive sequence there because you get second, third, fourth chance opportunities off saves. You're getting to those loose pucks and winning battles. And the Golden Griffins were tired after that shift because it was such long possession. Penn State was flying around.
50 seconds on the clock here, opening period. Nittany Lions with a 3-1 lead. Face-off Penn State zone. From the near point, it's kept in by Buckley. One of those transfers goes back behind the goal. Stripped away there by Penn State. Tor Linden rainbows it out to center. Kerwin hunting for the puck at the Canisius line. Earned, the physical veteran defenseman, kept it away from the Penn State rush. Now deep inside the Penn State zone. Crespo up the far boards, not out. Shot from the far point, easily sticked away by the freshman goalie Grannon. And Penn State again arches it back from right to left down. Wall pestering, watching Buckley there, scoops it away. Earn with it, the senior defenseman out of Blaine, Minnesota, far corner. Back to the Canisius line. That puck is fumbled at center. Shot as far as the Penn State line. Berger starts the rush. Entry feed for Wall. Redirected down into the Canisius zone. Final 10 here of this first period. Geniev with that small frame hunting for the puck down on both knees. Kept it alive deep. And it's just pinned in the corner as the period ends. And now they're going to go at it a little bit down there in the corner. Didn't like that physical play by Geniev. And the team's pushing and shoving because Kuznetsov was down on both knees. Felt like he took a cross-check on that play. And the teams are face-to-face. A little chirping here after the whistle. 3-1, Penn State after one. Berger, opening period. We thought it was Kuznetsov. Instead, they have 73 instead of 72 in there.
Yeah, I thought it was 72 as well, but I don't know. I also thought it'd be 5-on-5, so that was a little confusing.
Penn State has the face-off. They're 4-on-4 out of their own zone. Jimmy Dowd Jr. flying through center, wiggles across the attacking line, hands for Wall. Wall returns back to Dowd, deep inside the Canisius zone to our right. Dowd, Linden, Wall, and Shade, the four out there for the Nittany Lions. Nothing develops, 3-on-2 back the other way. Melaragny, pass near wing, great back check by Linden, breaks it up, spoons it back out to center. Yeah, I thought they announced 72 as well, Eric. That certainly is an advantage for Canisius not to have Kuznetsov in there, because he will be dangerous when he shifts out here 4-on-4. Pogue in his own zone. From right to left. Red line to the Penn State line. As Canisius changes. Pass near wing, broken up. Got it back to Hernandez in the near corner. Hernandez centers out front. Pogue settles, slips it on, and a right toe save by Grannon. Stayed with that play beautifully, transitioning across his crease. Nittany Lions back the other way. Geniev sprints after it, winds it along the boards, attacking to our right. DeNaples near point. Back from high to low, Geniev at the end boards. No pressure on him there, has space to create a play. Banks it back to Paul at the line, point to point. Dylan Gratton atop the far end. Kerwin, quick shot, blocked by Earn, got it back in the far corner. Kerwin, sharp angle shot, was blocked by Hernandez. That's what Earn does for Canisius. He eats pucks. They clear their zone. Hernandez loops back at his own line, pestered by a hunting Kerwin. Now back to Decker. Pass near wing. Kuznetsov is out there for Canisius in the neutral zone. Gains some speed, bolts through center, gains the Penn State end, far wing. Shakes far circle, can't dance his way around. Dylan Gratton stayed right with him. Comes free, near circle shot. Hernandez saved by Grannon. Down on both knees, caught him near the belt, sliding to his right. And the freshman goaltender rejects that try. Penn State out of its own zone. Kerwin dancing through center, gains the attacking zone. Paquette got the shot off, did not get a lot on it. Hit near the heel of his stick, it went wide. 5 seconds left of 4-on-4. Teams back now at full strength as Schoen and Chavon are out of the box, and Schoen gets the steal right out of the box. 2-on-1. Paquette up the near wing. Attempts to center for Schoen. Flubbed it, rolled towards the goal, and sticked out by Hawthorne, who gets the start for Canisius tonight. And Tyler Paquette is down, banged up, back behind the Canisius goal. And there is the whistle to stop play. He's on his hands and knees. And athletic trainer Patrick Sarney is going to come out and check on Tyler Paquette. The big junior forward, 6'3", out of Collegeville, Pennsylvania, who blossomed last year offensively, and he is not putting any weight on his left leg. Going over to the Penn State bench, something you do not want to see here in the early going, getting guys banged up. The scratches tonight for Penn State are Simon Mack, Carson Dick, Xander Lampa, Ben Copeland, Kenny Johnson. Liam Soulier listed as a scratch, but is dressed. Not starting tonight. A game time decision, an unhealthy scratch, and then Chase McLean also working his way back from a season-ending injury last year. So a couple of banged up Nittany Lions tonight over on that bench. Or in the stands, knocked down near corner as Calder was trying to battle for that puck back underway. We're watching to see if Paquette goes up the tunnel. Right now, Sarney's just working on him on the bench, and Penn State draws a penalty, and the Nittany Lion power play comes out here early in this second period, attempting to add to a 3-1 lead. David Melaragni, the senior out of Philly, captain defenseman, is the guilty party. And now Penn State's power play takes the ice for the second time tonight. They are 1 for 1. They have a goal in each of the first 2 games of the season. Chance to break this wide open, up by 2. McEachran won the draw. Weaving, slot, Calder loose out front, crept all the way through to McMenamin. I'd love to see him get a power play tally here. Schoen patrols up the near board, whips it back to the line down, point to point, McEachran, backdoor Schoen, tries to hurry a one-timer off just out of his reach, gathers it back in, steers it back to the line again. Dowd slings it, McEachran, blast off the back glass, it went high of the target. Schoen near circle, slides it below the near ring. McMenamin hands back Dowd. Dowd surveys, patrols up the wall, dealt off to McMenamin. McMenamin stutters, fumbled, goes back to Dowd at the line, whips it across, back to McMenamin. Near circle shot was blocked. McEachran with a terrific pass there, but they couldn't settle that puck down. 1:18 left here on the penalty. Melaragni in for interference, trying to spring behind the D. Boguslavsky for a team that had 6 shorties last year. Nothing there for Canisius. Both teams change. Penn State will get a new group out. Calder still on the ice, lugs it up the ice, darts into the attacking zone, bolts near circle, feathers it through backdoor, shot Geniev, saved by Hawthorne, rebound comes back out front. Penn State stoned a couple of times there. Wall, rink wide far side. Berger off the boards, goes into the corner, and then the pass back to the line, creeps back out to center. No one was home at the blue stripe. Linden with the errant pass there. Berger, pass far wing Linden. Kerwin, Wall, Geniev. The 5 for Penn State here on this 5-on-4. 40 seconds left on the power play. Great keep by Berger, center point. Wheels with it, his back towards us. Hands near corner, Geniev. Geniev, left-handed pass, rink wide far side. Backdoor, Kerwin tried to stuff it on. Got the shot off. Hawthorne fought it off. Went off the backboards. Berger at the line to Wall. Wall far corner Linden. Linden attempts to set up the one-timer for Kerwin. Could not bomb the puck. Bounding puck out to center. Skips towards Berger. Settled down. Race for it back Penn State zone. Stays right on Bottini there. Now Miato with it. Short-handed. Coughed it up. Wall with an odd man rush. Final 10 of the power play. 3-on-2 far wing. Back Linden high slot. Back to Wall. Side of the goal. Stuffed it on. Save Hawthorne. As Wall got that tight shot, the right-handed shot into the leg pads. Melaragni's out, 3-on-2 Canisius, back to the Penn State line. Pogue splits 2. Good stick there, Crespo. And Shade recovered nicely. Lead pass Sarlo, errant. Ricochets down left to right and icing on Penn State. Things opening up here as teams are back 5-on-5. Still 3-1. Penn State can't score on the power play. 15:24 to play, second frame.
Yeah, but both units that were out there created some good looks. Kerwin right on the doorstep on a really nice pass from Linden again. That first unit, McEachran got one shot and then trying to set up Schoen on that right side. Canisius changed how they defended that unit, so that forced McEachran to become more of a facilitator than a shooter.
Linden, who tied a career high with 3 points in that opening period, shot from the slot by Hernandez, blocked in front of Noah Grannon inside the Penn State zone. Melaragni near point shot off a skate and then forked into the air by Crespo. Bounding puck pawed down at the blue line, kept for a moment, and now shoved out to center by Sarlo. Good work there. Hernandez nearly coughed it up at his own line. Wall's right on him. Unable to strip the puck. Hernandez shoves it far wing to the Penn State line. It's dumped in deep. Tyler Gratton lost his stick, retrieves the twig. Good body by Crespo, scooped up by Tyler Gratton. Lead pass out to center, past the galloping Sarlo and down left to right. That's icing on the Nittany Lions. 3-1, Penn State leads, 14:44 to play second period. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Please feel free to take an open seat in the main bowl for the rest of the game.
Our producer tonight is Jacob Scott. Along with Eric Olson, I'm Brian Tripp. Thanks for being with us. Game number 2 of the season, in Penn State with a 3-1 lead. 3 different goal scorers, Berger, Linden, and Kerwin, as Penn State in the neutral zone dumps it down into the Canisius end to our right. They're in those blue sweaters, blue helmets, blue bottoms, some white and gold trim, and the gold Block C logo with the soaring griffin on the front of those jerseys. Penn State trying to chip it out to center and does. Calder has speed up the far wing, bolts across the attacking line. Calder waits for some help, wipes out on the play. Nearly developed into a 3-on-2 with McEachran and Naples jumping into the rush. Unable to get a shot on goal towards Hawthorne. Shots are 20-7 Penn State. Nittany Lions 1 for 3 on the power play. That should read 1 for 2. That is a mistake. Canisius is 0 for 0 tonight. They have not had an opportunity, even though it reads 0 for 1. Frantic moments inside the Penn State zone, but nothing develops. Back the other way now. Penn State inside the attacking end, can't keep it. Leaks back out to center. A good recovery there by Schoen, back at his own line. Nittany Lions left to right in front of the bench's far side, dump it down. And a collision there near the Penn State bench. Late hit penalties coming up on the play. It's going to be against the Nittany Lions. And Penn State has Paquette tripped down. Nice to see him right back out there on the ice. No call there. Interference against the Nittany Lions. And now, maybe the stat broadcast page was foreshadowing a bit. Penn State will go on the kill for the first time tonight.
Does John Hanna know something we don't?
Does a great job with strategic communications with this Penn State team. It's Ashton Calder, the guilty party for interference. And Penn State's kill, which was just 1 for 3 last night, goes to work here. Surprising that they weren't better. Sometimes your goalie has to be your best penalty killer, and Soulier was terrific, making save after save, but a really good power play evidenced a night ago by Canisius trying to build on what was a tough year last year on special teams. So right now, a pretty comfortable 3-1 lead. Penn State dictating play for the most part here, 5-on-5, but Canisius with the power play trying to whittle this back to a one-shot game. Calder's in for interference. 13-10 to play, second frame. 3-1 Nittany Lions here at home. Hernandez fumbles at center. Berger, Gratton, Linden, and Crespo. The 4 for Penn State. Crespo with a hard hit against the far boards, and that's going to be another penalty. Now they're pushing and shoving. Crespo went in hard, and we'll see if this is a call that ultimately gets reviewed on that contact. Looked like it's going to be a boarding call against Crespo. Immediately he goes to the sin bin, joins Calder. Calder with 1:33 left on his penalty. And all of a sudden, the complexion of this game starting to change. Our Big Ten referees of David Marcotte and Jake Rakuki are talking about things near the referee's crease.
Yeah, he thumped Mastrodonato pretty hard, but Mastrodonato was not far from the boards, so that will be a factor. Crespo also didn't come from a big distance, so we're going to get the announcement. So they will review it. Full speed, Brian. I think this is just a 2, but we'll see what looks we get at it. Again, what factors in here is the severity of the hit, the distance from the boards. As we get a look on BTN Plus, and I don't see contact to the head from Crespo. He does get an arm up a little bit. Maybe he did catch him in the back of the head.
Yeah, for the boarding, you're looking to see if the player is in a precarious position in the contact.
He does follow through a bit with the right arm up high.
And I think Mastrodonato was starting to fall down on the play when he pivoted.
And the one thing is he does turn at the last moment, so that's tough for the person coming from behind. Now, you do have to be careful in that situation. They're going to give the benefit of the doubt to the player who's receiving the hit, but there is that gray line of at what point does the player turn to absorb the hit, and is it at a point where the person making the hit cannot react now because that player has turned its back? It's a bang-bang play. It's tough. Crespo follow-throughs a bit with his arm up high, but Mastrodonato also turns right on that gray line between at the last moment where Crespo can't really pull up at that point. So I think this is going to be close.
And remember, not all 5s this year are a game misconduct as well. It's something else that factors into the decision-making process here. We should get the announcement.
If it is a 5, it shouldn't be a misconduct. So no misconduct with that.
So it is a 5-minute major against Crespo for boarding, and that is why you have the rule. I don't think there was malicious intent there,
right, yep.
And there's no reason on a hit like that should a player be disqualified for the rest of the game.
Yeah, because Crespo was relatively close to Mastrodonato when Mastrodonato turned and Crespo went in to make that hit. If he had come from a greater distance, that might have elevated it up to a game misconduct.
Well, Penn State's kill was just 75% last year. They have some adversity here. They're 5 on 3, but win the draw and clear it back to center in front of the Canisius bench. Did not go the length of the ice. Decker into the Penn State zone. McEachran, Dylan Gratton, Paul DeNaples, the 3 for Penn State. 3-1 Nittany Lions, 12:45 to go, second period. Things just got interesting. Bowman, backdoor, too hot to handle, bounces past Decker. You have Siobhan at the center point, crosses with Decker, slings it near circle. Bowman flubbed, the shot went wide. Siobhan back far point. 1:05 left to 5 on 3. Siobhan atop the near circle, gets the return feed, near ring, deep slot, Bowman, sharp angle shot, score, top shelf, Daniel DeGrand. Goes top shelf, glove side on Grannon, scores the 5 on 3 goal. It's 3-2 with 12:24 to play in the second period. And DeGrande scores for Canisius, and now they have 4:23 on a major penalty power play. Still with time to tie it up or perhaps even take the lead. Their power play has been firing on all cylinders here in the early going. DeGrande with the goal, his first of the year.
Yeah, Canisius did well there to move the puck around. They started pinching into the top of the circle, so that forced Penn State to collapse in. The Nittany Lions didn't rotate well. McEachran was caught a little bit. Dylan Gratton was tied up in front of the crease, so he couldn't get over to his left. That left DeGrande with a really good shooting lane to beat Grannon over the glove.
DeGrande and Bowman, the 2 goal scorers for Canisius, both played at RPI and transferred. Tor Linden also played at RPI. A lot of former RPI players scoring here tonight. That team's wondering, where did those guys go? 3-2, just like that. As we said, the complexion really has changed now. Crespo still in for the next 350. Canisius right to left, navigating through center, meandering to the Penn State line. Wall back in his own zone, a hard hit, trying to break that rush up. Weird Karam back to the line because Kuznetsov keeps. 3-2 Penn State, 3:40 left to kill here on the major penalty power play. Canisius from the center point, shot. Meloragni, rebound out front. Grannon went down into the butterfly, made the save. Meloragni keeps it in. High slot, back across, shot, Mastrodonato. He is stoned by Grannon across the crease, left to right. Terrific save there by the freshman goalie. Penn State can't clear, though, because Kuznetsov is back to us. Melograndi at the center point. Meloragni with the puck. Holds Big Ten logo, whips it near wing, Mastrodonato. Into the near corner. They'll cycle. Hernandez. Meloragni, high slot, shot just wide. Wall trying to break it up. Pogue then throws it on. Rebound right back through the wickets. Hernandez couldn't get it to go. He had a gaping goal. He missed the target badly. Mastrodonato back to Hernandez. Near corner trying to tie it up here on the major penalty power play. Still 2:50 to kill. Kuznetsov, one-timer. Mastrodonato blocked by Jimmy Dowd in the near circle. Back to his feet. Slides at Hernandez. Trying to dance his way free below the near ring. Gun back across Kuznetsov. Settled down Meloragni. Into the far corner. He'll peel with the puck on the forehand now. Meloragni back center point. Kuznetsov lets it fly just wide. Grannon was late reacting to that shot. There was a screen out front. Mastrodonato from the near circle. Penn State badly needs a clear and change. Out front. Bank back to the line. Not out. Decker has it. Winds. Fakes. He hopped on. He's a new body with this unit. 2:15 left to kill. Penn State up by 1, still at the moment. Hernandez backdoor again had space, but couldn't beat the right pad of Grannon. Now shoots from the center point. Mastrodonato the screen. Grannon the save, pushing and shoving after the whistle as Shea tries to clean up business in front of his goal. Now Kevin Wall, who's really displayed great leadership in the early going, gets in there as well. Grannon some terrific stops to keep Penn State in front here. Still 2:08 left to kill on the Crespo Major.
And it's so important that Grannon was able to freeze that puck because they absolutely needed a change. They were exhausted at that point. Linden had to play without a stick for a good 30 seconds because it was stuck in the corner, so he was diving around trying to block shots, but a couple really big saves by Grannon. Got lucky on one that went right through his legs.
Shots are 9-3 in this period for Canisius as they look for the equalizing goal. Backdoor pass in too tight that time was Siobhan. Siobhan fishing it up the near boards and belted out of there by McMenamin. He got the steal and the clear. Hawthorne out to play it. Here comes McEachran. looking for the turnover shorthanded. 1:45 left on the penalty. 9:45 in the second period. Penn State was in complete command, but a couple of penalties have opened the door for the Griffins. Into the Penn State zone here, 5-on-4. DeGrande, high slot, drops it back. Decker near circle, back door, tip towards the goal, scramble out front, belted out of there by DeNaples, back towards the line, whacked it out of the air, but not out of the zone. Center point, Chavon, shot, butterfly stop by Grannon, down on both knees for Penn State. Freshman turned it away. Still loose inside the Penn State zone. Miata with the puck, near circle shot, blocked by Christian Berger. Penn State still 1:12 left to kill here on the penalty. 9-10 in the second, 3-2 Nittany Lions, sniped wide from the high slot by Bowman, who's got one tonight. Back into the far corner, DeNaples uses his body, closes a man out, grabs the puck, tries to flick it out, could not, plops down Berger, immediately harassed. There's no time and space to clear. Good power play here for Canisius. Melaragny far corner, gets some support. Cycled back to the line, low to high. Chavon near point. 45 seconds left to kill. Penn State clinging to a one-goal lead. Tipped wide right out front to Grande there from Bowman. Just wide, glove side. Backdoor feed, too hot to handle. Reeled in, though, off the boards. Bowman back to the line, keeps it inside the Penn State zone. Returns back and forth, and DeGrande just shattered his stick. He has to go to the bench for a new twig. Now, no one comes on the ice for him. Canisius is down a man right now. They only have 4 players on the ice. Penn State grabs the puck and can't take advantage and clear. Lambert kept it in. Now Gunn's trying to go blocker side, and Grannon sealing the near post, fended it off. 14 seconds left to kill. Centering feed, it's blocked! Between the rings, Urbank got free, and it goes up and out of play, and it was Paul DeNaples, the senior captain, down to block the shot. Out of play, just 11 seconds left to kill, but the faceoff still in the Penn State zone, and the Nittany Lions clinging to a 1-goal advantage.
That's a great block by Paul, just getting in position, got a piece of it with his leg. And that was a deflating moment because as Canisius was trying to get guys back on the ice, Penn State finally got the puck, tried to clear, but Lambert had come over to the left side, kept that puck in at the point. That's twice now Canisius has had really long, sustained possession on this power play.
2 veteran players, Bowman and DeGrande, really good here so far tonight for Canisius as Penn State attempts to clear it out of its zone with 5. Still tied up near half boards. Crespo ready to come out. Canisius has the puck. McDermott centers all the way across, far circle. Crespo goes to the bench. Shot through the goal crease wide by Hudson Lambert. Nittany Lions are back at full strength. They give up 1 5-on-3. Now Penn State racing into the attacking zone. Schoen surveys, sends it out front. Shot! Score! Tyler Grattan! Just like that! Penn State back up 2! Tyler Grattan driving the goal, has his first of the year. It's a slam dunk. And the Nittany Lions go back up to 4-2. 7:47 to go, second period. They didn't waste any time after getting back to full strength.
And it's really important that they were able to get the puck out of the zone. I was a little hesitant that Crespo was going right to the bench because the puck was still in Penn State's end. I know you want to get another forward out there, but they're lucky that they got it out of the zone when Crespo gets to the bench. Now they're rushing up the ice. Schoen with the puck, carried it in, squeaked by down the right wing, and was able to slide one across to Grattan. Backdoor play again for Penn State.
Schoen now has an assist in both games here in the series. He had 22 points last year as a freshman. Grattan, who had 9 goals last year. Again, in the right spot, Eric. They're trying to work to get to the hard areas, and it's paying off. Nittany Lions still with some forecheck pressure here. Canisius went circle to circle, batted back to the line, kept alive by Dowd, and now carried out to center by Hernandez as far as the Penn State line. Kuznetsov bouncing puck. Big hit delivered by Ryan Kerwin at his own stripe, but Canisius enters the Penn State zone. Hernandez canceled far corner by Dowd. Puck controlled. Hernandez backhand pass across near circle. Decker in from the line, controls, couldn't get the shot away. Blocked by Kerwin. Near half boards, Penn State end. Linden skipping puck. Settled, Mastrodonato, and jammed back out to center by Penn State. I mean, that is a huge swing right there. Some great looks on the 5-minute power play for Canisius. They score 1 5-on-3. Grannon was great. Now a centering feed, Calder. Calder tees it up, side of the goal. Linden attempts to center. Blocked away by Decker deep in his own zone. Canisius numbers if they hurry. Right to left, out to center. Becomes a 3-on-3. Stripped at the Penn State line. Berger banks it, and now Penn State will counter. Here comes McMenamin into the attacking zone. Drops it back McEachran. Backdoor feed, Calder slot into his skates. Trying to go all the way across that time to Berger. Kept alive. McMenamin centers. That leaks all the way back near point and creeps back out to center. Jared Crespo pivots there with the puck, and the freshman a bullet down. into the Canisius zone. So Penn State, which by the way only dressed 6 defensemen tonight, still has Crespo available because of the new rule despite the 5-minute major. Nittany Lions swarming, got the steal. Ashton Calder centers, looking for Sarlo. Crespo center point, bombs one off a stick out of play, back behind Hawthorne and into the netting. 5:59 to go, second period, 4-2, Penn State in front. And I'll tell you what else factored into that goal. Hawthorne hadn't seen a puck in an eternity down there, and the first shot he faces is a grade A chance, and Penn State retakes a 2-goal lead. 4-2 Nittany Lions, 5:59 to go in the second. This is Penn State hockey from Learfield. Penn State wins the face-off in its own zone. Dylan Gratton, a center point shot, blocked and out of play. His older brother Tyler with a big goal here in the second period to stymie the momentum from Canisius after the long power play. Somehow they only get one, and a big reason why it's somehow the play of Noah Grannon, the freshman in goal for Penn State, making his first career start tonight.
He had 9 saves on the 5-minute major.
Penn State played it back to the line, stolen by DeGrande, races into the Penn State zone, retrieves the puck, guns it into the chest of the netminder. Grannon sliding deep in his crease for Penn State, holds on, face-off will be to his left. 5:48 to go, second frame. 4-2 Nittany Lions, and Eric, they have scored some timely goals now here in this series.
Yeah, so you get the third period one last night when it's a 2-1 game on the odd man rush to go up 3-1. Then here you kill off a 5-minute major and then transition up the ice from left to right. Schoen squeaking by down the right wing, got below the goal line, then passed across through the blue paint. Gratton was able to get a piece of it somehow. Timely goals have been huge in this series.
Penn State got a steal at its own line, angled it out to center. Sarlo throwing his weight around out there with Lugris and Servagno right now as Servagno launches in and Penn State will change. 5:30 to go, second period. Penn State a little puck luck too on that kill. Grannon made some big saves though. Here is Geniev off a body at center into the attacking zone, supported by Paquette. Slides it in front of the goal. Geniev off his stick, grabs it back at the end boards, took a hit from DeGrande. And Canisius will escape its zone, evacuating as far as the Penn State line. Dowd back the other way. Crisp pass out to center, trying to start the rush. Schoen was walloped. And Canisius has the puck into the Penn State zone. Bowman one-hands it towards the goal. Good aggressive play. You can tell Grannon's comfortable now coming out to play that puck away from his crease. And Penn State then follows up and plays it out to center. Only as far as the red line. Right back in comes the graduate forward from Orchard Park, New York, Urbank for Canisius. A hometown kid. Orchard Park, of course, the home to the Buffalo Bills. Terrific team they have this year. Ownership, the Pagula family. Namesakes of this beautiful building. Penn State gains the attacking zone. Centering pass came through to Paquette. Now guns it off the near boards. That was blocked. Rattles back towards the near point. Penalty coming up on the play. Crespo shot. And that's going to be against Penn State based on that contact there from Crespo. A hold against Paquette. 4:31 to go, second period. 4-2 Nittany Lions. They're being outshot 13-4 here in the period. They've spent most of the period in the penalty box. And the door, again, is ajar for Canisius here, trying to make this a one-goal game again. And it is a power play that has looked terrific here in this series.
Yeah, it has. So Boguslavsky and Paquette come together along the near half wall. And Paquette lost his edge a bit, tumbled down, and his loose hand got a piece of Boguslavsky and pulled him down. But it's that top line of Hernandez, Kuznetsov, and Mastrodonato that have really played a factor, and they are a line that's on this power play unit to start. Melaragny, the defenseman, and then you throw Pogue, the other forward. 4 forwards, 1 defense. This first unit for Canisius has been really good, just moving the puck around and finding some openings.
Penn State bench none too thrilled with that call. Face-off will be near circle attacking to our left. Roar Zone on its feet back there. They have been rowdy all night long. Another terrific crowd here on this October the 8th for the second game of the year. Penn State won the draw. They've been excellent on draws, and guess who? Tor Linden winning it back, and it slapped down the ice. Man, he really has a complete game. Great addition to this program. And here he is pestering shorthanded in front of the goal. Slows down Melaragny for the moment. Melaragny drops it back at his own line. Turned over. Linden's there. Dishes it back deep. So they'll have to go the length here. Already 20 seconds into this kill. Good start for Penn State. 4:05 to play, second frame. 4-2 Nittany Lions. Canisius, aided by the power plays here in this period, has really dictated play. Kuznetsov knifes into the slot. Pass, and the one-timer fanned on by Pogue from the far dots. Back behind the goal, Pogue handcuffed him a bit. Now he has it back near corner. Pogue back to the line. Melaragny, left-handed pass atop the far circle. Gets the return feed back center point. Pass top of the near ring. Hernandez back door looking for Mastrodonato. Off a stick. Taken by Calder. 2-on-1 shorthanded. Stays with the play. Good break up there by Melaragny. He had Wall with him, but Melaragny with a good stick prevented the shorthanded odd man rush. And now it jostles around a bit at the Canisius line, and an offside is called on the play. Halfway through this Paquette holding minor here with 3:31 to play in the second. Face-off in the neutral zone with Penn State in front 4-2.
And you mentioned face-off numbers, Brian. 26-13 right now, Nittany Lions. You talked about Linden. First period, he was at 77%. Last night, he was at 66%. He's been excellent so far on face-offs this series.
Puck dropped right on the Nittany Lion logo at center here at Pagula. Penn State scrum for the puck and dumps it down in towards Hawthorne, the goalie for Canisius. That's where they'll settle things down and regroup here on this power play. 45 seconds left on the power play. A 4-2 Penn State lead. Canisius 1 for 3 on the man advantage tonight. Chip deep in the Penn State zone and cleared out of there again by the Nittany Lions. And Penn State will make a 3-man change. McMenamin stays on. Nope, now he is going to hop off. With McEachran, the 2 forwards go off. Everyone goes off. Servagno, Sarlo, Shade, and Dowd. The 4 for Penn State here. Final 21 of the kill. Decker darts towards the slot, rolls off his stick, and a left pad save by Grannon on a little change up there because it wasn't a clean shot. Servagno will clear. Servagno, like Crespo, comes in from Green Bay. Penn State's starting to have a little pipeline there. Kerwin was also a gambler. Getting quite a few talented players out of that program. Penn State back at full strength. Canisius gains the Penn State zone. A 3-on-3 shot partially blocked off the stick of Shade. So they kill the Paquette penalty. A couple of big kills here in this second period. Penn State leads 4-2. Lead pass back the other way. Penn State nearly caught there, but the pass is errant. And it's down for icing. Good foot race win by Jimmy Dowd Jr. The face-off back down to our right inside the Canisius zone. And Penn State will pick the side here on the draw. It'll be to the glove side of the goaltender, Hawthorne to his left. He's only seen 5 shots here in the period. 1 of the 5 has gone in. Gratton angling it in on a great feed across the crease from Ben Schoen. Teams trading goals here in this period. Penn State led 3-1 after 1. Golden Griffins win the draw and clear. No icing here. Dylan Gratton on his horse's back. Takes a hit into the far corner. Battle for the puck deep in the Penn State zone. Canisius comes up with it, but Kerwin stays with it. Griffins, though, on it again. Urbank winds it and boards. Squirts on pass, Bottini. Switzerland native out to center. Bouncing puck jammed into the attacking zone by Kerwin. Sprints after it near circle. Backhand shot. Fought off by the netminder. Hawthorne had trouble with it. Stays in play, then goes out of play. Off the glass into the front row. And that face-off's going to stay inside the Canisius zone. 1:43 to go second period. Penn State up 4-2. And Eric, quite honestly, it feels like they've weathered the storm here.
Yeah, now a chance in the last minute 43 to try to regain some control over the way things are going, tilt the ice back in their favor. See if you can get a few more shots on Hawthorne before this period is over, but getting through those PKs is really important, especially the 5-minute major. Again, Noah Grannon, 9 saves on that 5-minute major.
Great first career start for Grannon. Out of play again in tip, so the teams can change. Face-off will stay inside the Canisius zone. Penn State is 1 for 2 on the power play tonight. Canisius is 1 for 3. The numbers are a bit off here on our scoring system. That's why, hey, probably should bring a piece of paper and pencil to every game. Do it the old-fashioned way. Problems with technology sometimes. Paquette near corner, burrows in, hands off to Schoen, wiggles with the puck, dishes it back to the line. Dealt right back to him near half boards. Attacking to her right, attempting to add to a 4-2 lead. Pass onto the tape of Grattan, wheels back to the line, circles back high, backdoor angle, just wide, pinching in. Grattan to Grattan, and Tyler found Dillon. Great chemistry there. Wonder where it came from, but his shot was just wide. Looking for his first as a Nittany Lion. That would have been a great way to score your first. Penn State out of its own zone. Good play by Schoen, stumbling. Paquette pass far wing, Schoen into the attacking zone. Shovels it deep, needs a change. Tyler Grattan, good shoulder check in deep. Nearly kept play alive. Now Calder hunting for the puck. He'll flush out a man from behind the goal. He's right on Miato. Miato exit pass for Canisius. Near wing Canisius, red line, Decker dumps it in. Griffs finish a change. Grannon out behind his goal to play. Back up the near dasher. McEachran back to the line. Decker. Decker shoots it down low, way off target. Angled along by Christian Berger. Took a hit to get the puck up, but not out. Turning Miato atop the far circle Penn State zone. Hands far circle shot. Fended off again by Grannon. Doesn't see the puck. There's a lot of traffic. It is located by Calder, who dances through center, dangles and drags, and rifles in deep. Hammered off the corner boards. Tucked near corner by the Griffs. McMenamin with a physical play. Miato can't get it past the pinching McEachran. 14 seconds left here, second period. 4-2 Penn State. Along the goal line, errant pass. Dowd intercepts far half boards. Shovels it deep. McEachran end boards. Ties that puck up. Also tied up in there by a Golden Griffin. And now a whistle halts play as it was tied quickly by Siobhan. And they stop the action with 3.6 on the clock here remaining in the second. And again, it just feels like Penn State has dodged a bullet here in this period. Certainly the complexion changing on those penalties and some real close calls. Grannon was excellent on the back end for Penn State, and also a little puck luck there as the puck a few times went just wide of the pipe or through the goal crease, in fact. Crawling to a halt here this second at the end. Face off to the right of Hawthorne. Has not seen many shots. And the period will come to a close as Servagno fires it towards the goal, but it was blocked in front. 4-2 Nittany Lions after 2. Dropped, off we go. Penn State looking for an exclamation point to finish the weekend. Dumped in towards Hawthorne, who swings it up the far boards, and Randy Hernandez takes the pass, tries to navigate out to center, rink wide near side. Lambert takes the feed and hammers it down into the Penn State zone. Taken off the kick plate by Dowd and spoons back out to center. Dowd's had a great opening weekend here to start his junior season. Hernandez, though, darts right past him, far circle, fumbled towards the goal, ended up kicking it wide of the Penn State net unintentionally. Wall far corner gets to the rolling puck on this fresh sheet. Rainbow's out to center, bounds towards Linden, flags it down at the attacking line, throws it in, now heads off to change. Penn State makes its first change here, 35 seconds into the third. Ashton Calder nosying around for the puck, far corner attacking zone. Calder, McEachran, McMenamin, the forwards, DeNaples and Dylan Gratton back on D. DeNaples with a hit along the far boards in front of his bench. That draws a penalty for interference. And Penn State goes right back on the kill here to start this third, 52 seconds into the third. And just like that, a red-hot Canisius power play with an opportunity to make it a one-goal game.
It was a good hit by DeNaples. It was just a touch late as Pogue had poked the puck past him, and then DeNaples stands him up right in front of the Penn State bench. And now not what you want to start a third period, to go right back on the penalty kill, but it's an important one now. Still holding that 2-goal lead.
Again, looking for that strong finish here to the weekend. Face-off one, Decker, one-timer across Chavon, and that is blocked in front of Grannon and out of play into the seats far side of the ice. And now without DeNaples, who's a key PK cog, they'll start with Berger and Crespo on the back end. McMenamin up front with McEachran.
So Canisius doesn't start with that dangerous unit of Hernandez, Kuznetsov, Pogue, and Meloragny.
Tell you what, though, I think it's 1A and 1B the way. Especially, there's two guys. Bowman and DeGrande have been really, really good for them here in the series. A lot to build on for this team moving forward. Face-off is won by Canisius. Decker, far point, bumps it deep, far corner. Out front, Miato, shot on the rebound, Stone! Wow, what a glove save by Grannon at point-blank range. Flashing the left hand, windmills it through the air, and robs DeGrande right on the welcome mat.
Puck comes from below the goal line right to the crease. Grannon got a piece of it, but then it comes onto the stick of DeGrande. He tries to shovel it over the glove, didn't elevate it enough, and Grannon, that's his best save of the night.
By far, that was a 5-star save. Now a bullet off the end boards, misplayed it in his goal crease, and Penn State clears and ricochets it down the rink. Some frenetic moments near that crease tonight, to no fault of Noah Grannon's, but this has really been a much different last 22 minutes after Penn State ended the first, just dominating the hockey game. The penalties have added up here in the game for Penn State. 1:20 left to kill. Made that great save, but then misplayed the puck near his crease. There's a loose twig deep in the Penn State zone. It is not the goaltenders. Penn State creating a lot of traffic here in the neutral zone. Tyler Gratton, Tor Linden on the back end. Christian Berger with Carter Shade. Now it's rifled in, rings along the boards, and Canisius gains the Penn State zone, trying to come up with possession. Battle for the puck far half boards to Grannon's right. 2 minutes into the third. Penn State up 2, but back on the kill. 55 seconds to go on the kill. DeGrande skates free with the puck, and a bullet from the slot went wide, caught the glass, and that careens all the way back down the ice. He is dangerous.
He is. That was a really quick release, missed it wide. Now that unit was on for a while, 1:20. Now they changed to that other unit with Pogue, Hernandez, Kuznetsov, Mastrodonato, and Melaragny.
Penn State a steal at the red line. Paquette trying to hunt that puck down, leaks back into the zone, and Hernandez starts it out for Canisius. Melaragny, pass far wing, off a stick, recoiling. Good play by Kuznetsov. Couldn't knife into the Penn State zone cleanly. Hernandez, though, space near wing. He enters the zone. They're onside. Pogue near point, greeted rudely by Servagno, and cleared by Penn State. Back down the rink towards Hawthorne. Schoen is flying towards the puck. Hawthorne out to play it. Keeps it away from the speedy sophomore forward out of Maumee, Ohio. Hernandez, Penn State zone. Nittany Lions back to full strength. They get the kill. Side of the goal. Pogue, center shot, save Grannon. Big rebound, came back out front. Grannon with another big save, that time with the left pad. Sarlo now counters. 5-on-5 hockey. Wheels up the near wing, chucks to the goal, angles it on. He is impeded on the play. There's a penalty for a hook as he angled it back. He went across the crease but stayed with it to the near post, and a right pad save by Hawthorne. But how about Noah Grannon stealing the show here in this period? 4-2 Penn State, 3:08 into the third. Now they look for the dagger.
It's a great play by Paul DeNaples. Coming out of the box, goes right towards the crease. Grannon makes the great save with the pad, but the rebound pops to Hernandez. He had to get it on his backhand, but DeNaples came through, cleaned him out, so Hernandez couldn't get an opportunity.
Off the face-off, Kerwin with a left-handed rocket into the chest of the goaltender Hawthorne. Now a push and shove in front of the crease again. You got Earn right there, face-to-face. And this thing getting a little chippy. 3 seconds into the power play, as Melaragny is the guilty party for hooking. You can see the speed of Penn State. Those transition opportunities have been where they're at their best. Face-off far circle. Penn State started this game with a power play tally from Berger. Kerwin settles it down, hands Geniev. Berger is back at the line, 4 forwards, 1D. Wall and Linden to this side of the ice. That's the 5. Wall, quarterback's now center point, slings it, Linden near corner, bumps it back, Berger, one-timer, left-handed slap shot, near half boards, into the chest of the goalie Hawthorne. He holds on and stops play just 20 seconds into this Penn State power play. Nittany Lions are 1 for 2 tonight. This is their 3rd power play opportunity. Their kill is now 3 for 4. It's been good here in the game when they've needed it most. Penn State by 2, trying to go up by 3 here. Berger center point. Delays with the puck, slings it near corner. Linden on it. Linden with his back towards us. Pressuring to our left. Linden near faceoff circle. Kerwin, pass back to the line. Berger. Berger to Kevin Wall, deep slot. Wall atop the far circle now. Tucks it off. Kerwin. Kerwin Geniev strolls out of the far corner, walks the goal line, pestered out wide, closed off quickly. Buckley closed him out. Out front, Kerwin, he scores! Ryan Kerwin, power play goal! 5-2 Nittany Lions! 16:06 to play, 3rd period. Kerwin again gets to the dirty area. And Kerwin with his 2nd of the game, and Penn State up by 3.
Great job of that unit to move pucks around, create space by moving their feet. They work it around the circle, get below the goal line. Kevin Wall picks it up behind the crease, tries to wrap it around. It comes off his tape, but Kerwin, again, going to the smart areas of the ice, right to the doorstep, slams it past Hawthorne.
Ryan Kerwin, who has a great shot, and I mean great shot, knows where to go to score goals as well. Really a complete game, bouncing puck at center. Hopefully that ignites this team and they can put it away emphatically here against Canisius now. 5 goals in back-to-back games to start the year. 2 power play goals for Penn State tonight as that special teams unit tries to get on track here in the early going. And it always helps, no matter how good you look, to see the puck go in. Build that confidence. Great keep far point by Dadema for Canisius. Couldn't get anything out of it. This time it skitters on past him, back out to center. DeGrande launches in towards Grannon. And that bounds up into his chest, into the butterfly. He turned it away as Canisius changes. 5-2 Nittany Lions, 15-15 to play. Geniev skates up the near wing, attacking zone, shot save, big rebound, steered back towards the net mouth, blocked away out front. Boguslavski was there, golfs it on forward, up the far wing, long shot, snared again by Grannon, who really has settled in on a shot from the top of the far circle, scoops it up with the left-handed catching mitt and freezes the puck and halts the action. 15:06 to play in the third, 5-2 Penn State. Kerwin on the power play from Kevin Wall and Danny Geniev. Wall has 3 assists tonight. That is a career high in assists for Wall, tying his career high in points here in the hockey game. All on assists for a big-time goal scorer. 5-2 Penn State. 5 minutes into the third. Canisius won the draw, nothing develops. Nittany Lions control in their own zone. Exit feed Tyler Gratton. Gets it out to center. That was from his brother Dylan. Penn State delayed offside. They get the puck deep, though. Hawthorne slows it down. We were shocked. I'm not sure it would have made a difference to not see Barcheski tonight for Canisius. Grannon got the emergency start, if you will, for Penn State, icing on the Griffins. He said when he came to the rink, he had an idea he may play, didn't know he was going to play. They were waiting to see if Soulier could go. Could not go tonight. Not healthy enough to go. Grannon has been terrific here. What a great, if you can get out of this, what a great foundation to lay for Grannon moving forward as well.
Exactly, and he's shown a lot of confidence in this game. It certainly hasn't been easy for him, some of the chances he's faced, but if this is the starting point, it can only get better.
He's had a bit of a journey as well. Was a member of the National Team Development Program, originally committed to Wisconsin. Battled some injuries, highly touted prospect trying to make the most of his chance here at Penn State. Wall dangling towards the front of the goal, fires and scores! That was filthy! Kevin Wall, slick mitts, top shelf! A highlight reel goal for Kevin Wall. It's 6-2 with 14:22 to play.
That's some of the flair we've been waiting to see from Kevin Wall. He unlocks it here. Forehand, backhand, toe drag through, gets it back to his forehand, snaps it between the glove and shoulder of Hawthorne, just under the bar, pops back out. That's one of the most beautiful goals that you'll see. So smooth, and it was a perfect finish from Kevin Wall.
And now he has a goal to go along with 3 assists. It's a career-high 4 points for Kevin Wall tonight. His goal last night was an empty netter, and he is 1 point away from tying the program record of 5 points in a single game, held by 2 Nittany Lions, Connor McMenamin and Andrew Starks.
He just completely undresses Jackson Decker as he pulls it through on the toe drag, gets it back to his forehand, just snaps it top shelf. That's a pretty finish.
Oh, talk about putting that where the cookie jar is up there on the top shelf. He had one spot to pick, and he picked it beautifully. Now a centering pass for McMenamin. Would love to see him bag a goal here in the early going, get that gorilla off his back from the get-go this year. Swept out front, Penn State, and they score! It sneaks past Grannon. McDermott was there on the backdoor feed. And just like that, Canisius tallies one at 6-3, 13:52 to go in the third. And I'll tell you what, Guy will want his team to finish this game strong. No weakness here down the stretch.
Yeah, you know, Shade was skating backwards, and he didn't quite know where the puck was behind him, so he turns and tries to find it. Melaragny was able to poke it across, and it got to McDermott. Grannon gets over from left to right, and I'm not sure how it beat him if we get another look at it, but McDermott there right on the doorstep and somehow got a piece of it to put it past Grannon.
So Penn State leads at 6-3 now. The goals come just 26 seconds apart. Wall, filthy, unassisted. And then McDermott from Melaragny answering for Canisius, 6-3 Penn State. This is a good Canisius team. They have a lot of heart and a lot of fight. They're going to have a good year. Really believe in them. Dylan Gratton, neutral zone, bombs it off a body, scooped up into the rush, left to right. Tyrell Buckley into the Penn State zone. High slot, stripped by Geniev and swept back out to center. Motoring after it, Tyler Paquette trying to cancel icing, and nope, not this time either. In a dead heat foot race down towards the dots. Icing on Penn State, 6-3, 13:26 to go in the third. But Penn State first 2 here in this period. Kerwin on the power play from Wall and Geniev, then Wall, that just magnificent goal, unassisted. McDermott from Melaragny then makes it 6-3.
I think they're going to change it to Pogue and Miato. That's what they just announced in the arena. I guess we'll find out.
Had a couple of scoring changes last night after the game. Kuznetsov actually credited with both Canisius goals, and I will say, as it's one back to Lambert. Lambert at the near point. Traffic out front, just wide. Trampolines out the far side. DeGrande settles it down. Canisius coming with a push here. That's a shot hammered from a sharp angle. Back behind the Penn State net, wide. Traffic back behind the goal. Genev ties that puck up. Battles with Bettini. And Penn State has it. Schoen banks it up the dasher and saucers it back down into the Canisius zone. Melaragny back for it. In front of his own goal crease starts the rush. Bowman, neutral zone, knocked off the puck by Tyler Gratton, who has a nice edge to his game. Lambert in the neutral zone does. Ring it down into the Penn State end. Whacked at by Lugris, couldn't get it out. Played down in front of the goal by DeGrande, and Penn State now launches it back out to center. In fact, all the way back down the rink into the Canisius zone. Servagno, Tyler Gratton, Dylan Lugris, the forwards. Christian Berger and Jared Crespo back on D. Lugris gets the steal off of Gratton, rattles back out to center. Crespo secures it there, launches in deep. Puck is played back at the blue line. Penn State trying to hold inside the Canisius zone. Good work, Gratton. Lugris centers, flubbing the shot. Linden back to Gratton. Shot blocked. It bounds wide into the far corner. In front of the goal, it's settled down and carried out by Chavon. Lugging up the near wing, Pogue. Pogue off a body at the Penn State line for Canisius. Linden for Penn State back in his own zone. Has had a really good opening weekend. Kerwin starts the rush. Errant pass picked off. As far as the Penn State line, no further. Pogue then stripped by a back-checking Wall. And there's that play that the coaches talked about with Wall at both ends of the ice. Now here he comes, dancing through center, right down College Ave. Knifes far wing, Wall. Turned out to Park Ave that time, couldn't get the puck towards the goal. Here comes Canisius out of its own zone. Hernandez skating through the neutral zone, lost it at the Penn State line, jammed back by Kerwin. Really good play by Kerwin there too, with his team up by 3, making sure you have 3 back, denying any odd man breakout opportunities for Canisius. And now he'll carry out of his own zone, slip it far wing, stay with the play. Thought he was going to head off to change. He could use a change. Now he'll change as Penn State dumps and makes that 5-man swap.
It's really smart there by Kerwin. You just, in a 3-goal lead in the third period, you got to be smart in those situations. You don't necessarily need to press. You got to be responsible at the top of your own end in the neutral zone, and Kerwin was. Both Kerwin and Wall really on that shift.
Play is blown dead. Penn State was offside as they scooted the puck down from right to left. It's going to be called intentional offside all the way back down into the Nittany Lions zone. Unless they're calling that icing, I thought they had the red line. No, 11:09 to go. Regardless, here in the third, 6-3, Nittany Lions in front. Face off to the right of Noah Grannon. Shots are 6-5 in this frame, and that favors Penn State. Shots 29-25 in the game.
They've done a better job tonight of controlling the third period than last night.
Grannon sticks it out off the face-off. DeNaples rescues in his own zone, but then coughed it up in the far circle, and a pass back to the line was flubbed. Urbank trying to get it back to Lambert, who has some good offensive instincts. Off a stick, rattling at center, pinballs back, and McEachran unable to gain the attacking zone. Boguslavsky on it, carries to the red line, chips it in towards Grannon, who hands aside, making his Penn State debut tonight. McMenamin out to center, lead pass far wing. Calder was turned around, tried to reach and lunge for it, could not. It's down for icing with 10:39 left here in the third period, and Penn State leading by a 6-3 score. Face off in the Nittany Lions zone.
Face-offs continue to be a bright spot. 37-22. Penn State leading that category 9-6 in this third period.
Short week this week. Penn State back in action on Thursday against Mercyhurst here at home. Hope you can join us. Then Friday at Mercyhurst before another Thursday-Friday series on what should be a fun weekend here in Happy Valley against St. Thomas, going into the whiteout game against Minnesota. Penn State wins a battle and clears. We'll get that change after the icing. 10:30 to play here in the third. 6-3 Nittany Lions. Long shot by DeGrande. Easy save that time for Grannon, who's made some spectacular stops here tonight. Banked back to the blue line, but not out of the Penn State zone. Dylan Gratton retrieves deep in his own end. Thought he was going to score his first as a Nittany Lion earlier. He was robbed. Pretty good goaltending tandem for Canisius. Obviously, Barczewski to start. Backdoor feed, shot, and sprawling across. Grannon made the save on DeGrande. How on earth did he make that save? What a glove this young man has, and the freshman keeps it a 3-goal lead. Oh, that was pretty. I don't know if he got it clean looking at the replay. May have hit the post, but then he pounced on it.
I think he got his left toe on it, but that's twice. If he did get a piece of it, that's twice he's robbed DeGrande from in tight. The first one was with the glove. This one, DeGrande didn't get it elevated enough, and I think Granite got a piece of it with his toe and then got a glove on it.
Pogue's shot off the face-off win was blocked by Penn State. Penn State has blocked 16 shots here tonight. It's been a grinded-out kind of hockey game after really a breakneck first period, really clean first period. A lot of penalties, a lot of special teams really impacting this game. 3 power play goals combined, 2 for Penn State, 1 for Canisius, belonging to DeGrande. Man knocked down behind the goal, no call this time. Starlow skating out to center. He wants the pass. Instead, Gratton's going to lug it. Now Gratton passes it far wing, but Lugris was tied up. Gratton gets to it, throws it on with a backhand from a tight angle. Starlow now steers it down low for Gratton, attacking to her left. 9:20 to play, third period. Penn State leads 6-3. Attempting to start this young season 2-0. Had a terrific non-conference last year before running into a very difficult Big Ten slate. I think there's going to be more parity this year in the Big Ten. Was top-heavy last year with all that talent of Michigan and Minnesota. Nittany Lions here escaping their own zone from right to left. Tor Linden, who had 3 first-period points here tonight, chips it in deep. Battle for the puck end boards. Skitters on free. Linden centers. Kerwin shot blocked. Bounces free. Slot between the rings. Shade couldn't get it towards the goal. Angled out to center, and that escalates back into the Penn State zone. Dowd retrieves. Dowd up the far boards. Linden trying to settle. Could not. Back to the red line. Kerwin nearly created the turnover. Puck does find Mastrodonato only as far as the Penn State line. Shade hops up on it, and it's batted down with a backhand from right to left by McMenamin into the Canisius zone. Linden first to it. Burrows into the end boards. Centers. Berger lets it fly. Save. Big rebound. Loose. Still loose out front. And Hawthorne sliding to his right. Couldn't cover. Calder attempts to center. Batted out of the air. Good body there by McMenamin. Berger, left-handed shot high. Elevates off the glass. Plops down. And sprinting in from the line and taking a big hit in the near corner, Jared Crespo. Not afraid to use his body. Made a great play to keep that puck deep, but just for a moment. DeGrande as far as the Penn State line, nothing there. Calder looks to counter, shoves it McEachran, unable to reel it in at the Canisius line, and now it sails back out to center. Hot potato here as far as the Penn State stripe. McEachran back to Crespo. Long lead past Calder. Calder across the Canisius stripe, waits for help. Guns it back to where McMenamin on his tape, feeds it side of the goal. McEachran sharp angle. Now McMenamin settled down, fired, score! Ashton Calder! Right on his tape, and he buries it! Touchdown! 7-3. 7:38 to go in the third.
Well, they got Hawthorne scrambling on this sequence. Calder does really well to gain the zone, hold the puck, wait for McMenamin and McEachran to join the rush. He feathers it across to McMenamin. I thought McMenamin was going to shoot that, but he tried to hit McEachran on a pass to tuck it in. It would have been an open net, but McEachran was just too far below the goal line. Eventually works it back to McMenamin near side, gets it back through the seam to Calder. Hawthorne is all over the place, and Calder basically has an open net to shoot at as Hawthorne was down trying to get from right to left.
It's the 26th time in program history in which Penn State has scored 7 goals in a hockey game. Not done yet. 7:20 to play. Calder from McMenamin and McEachran. That tally. And Penn State again tonight with 3 third-period goals, which is great to see. We obviously described the trouble last year in the third period at times, particularly in Big Ten play. Centered shot, shoulder save by Granite on Boguslavski. You got to give Canisius a lot of credit. Every time after Penn State scores, and this is something the coaches will emphasize, you have to be ready for that next rush. They have had grade A chances after Nittany Lion goals.
And that happened a lot last year where Penn State would score and then there'd be a deflating moment because someone else would come back the other way and score.
Who said it was a football bye week? They've got 7 on the board here. I felt like Steve Jones there for a moment. Not quite as good, but trying my best. Penn State football team with a bye, unbeaten on the year at Michigan. Next weekend, noon kick. Michigan had trouble today with Indiana. Here's a Penn State odd man rush. Lugris weaving across the line, tucks it near wing. Sarlo goes back, looking for the trailer Shade. And now Shade trying to hustle back defensively. Pogue takes the lead pass, enters the Penn State zone, winds and blasts. Shoulder saved by Grannon. Shade to the rebound to Sarlo, and he escapes his own zone all the way in front of his bench, and Hernandez now tries to zip back into the Penn State zone. Jets as far as the blue line, but then he was pestered, just tossed it deep. Penn State to the puck. Helter-skelter here for a moment. Kerwin takes the bank pass into the attacking zone, reels it in, far circle shot. Hawthorne made the butterfly stop, closing the 5-hole with his stick and angling it towards the backboards. 5:50 left, third period. 7-3, Nittany Lions here at Pegula bidding for the sweep. A lot of talent, a lot of offense I think this team can generate this year. Sure, a lot to clean up as well from this opening weekend, but all in all, productive opening 2 games as Penn State gets the puck deep again. In the far corner, it's stolen behind the goal. Berger, Beaver tapping for the puck, didn't get the pass. Now he has it behind the net. Berger, far circle shot, whistles through the goal crease from Crespo. He's going to get one sooner or later here. Wall to McMenamin near half boards. Tries to shake on free, pivots. He's tied up and harassed. Linden comes into the corner, unable to grab that puck. Canisius controls. Earn using his big frame, carries out to center, only as far as just shy of the Penn State line. Nittany Lions D2D in their own zone. It's been a really good weekend here to start the season. Berger off for Crespo. Long lead pass far wing. Here comes McEachran. Speeds to the puck. May have been offside. Calder gets the puck. There is no whistle. He's crunched far half boards. Canisius controls out to center. DeGrande chips and chases Penn State zone. Final 5 here at Pegula, 7-3 Nittany Lions. Another rule change this year, by the way. The puck has to leave the zone now for the offside to change. Remember, they had that rule where if the defending team touched the puck, if you would review it, that would alter. So that's another rule change here this year as we try to educate you on the new happenings for this season. 4:31 left in the third, 7-3 Penn State. Penn State chipped it out from inside its own zone. They can't change, but Guy's going to take a timeout because they are weary. And leading 7-3 will take it with them. This is Penn State hockey from Learfield. Against Canisius, good solid team out of Atlantic Hockey. 7-3 Nittany Lions lead, 4:31 to go in the third period. Penn State now has utilized its timeout. Along with Eric Olson, Brian Tripp. Fun night here again at Pegula, 4:31 away from a sweep. Boguslavsky near circle, opposite Danny Genev for the Nittany Lions. Think about the depth. We've talked about the depth. Mentioned that Chase McLean still out, recovering from last season's season-ending injury. Depth at center, as there's another save by Grannon. Long-range shot by Urban. Grannon's been terrific. Caught him right on the logo. But you get McLean in that mix as well.
He's going to be really good when he comes back.
Another 200-foot center.
Great on the PK, too. Just adds an extra layer of tenacity to the ice. And he and Paquette really developed some good chemistry last year. So I'd be curious if when McLean does come back, if he slots in right next to Paquette again.
It was McLean, Paquette, and Gratton, and it was a great two-way line. I would say that was their best defensive line last year as well, but all of a sudden you look and Paquette ends the year with 11 goals, Gratton ends the year with 9 goals, and everyone knows what McLean, who's a draft pick of the Predators, can do. Penn State trying to clear its zone and does. Boguslavsky back into Naples, stood him up. But that is where, with the depth, look, there are going to be some guys that aren't happy to be scratched on certain nights. That's where you need your culture to elevate your program as this year goes on. You know the staff is going to do its best at managing that roster, but there will be some guys that want to be in the lineup that don't have that opportunity. The hope is the culture is strong, and then that elevates your practices on a day-by-day basis as well. Penn State turns it over, centering pass behind Miato. Nittany Lions look to counter. Sarlo, far wing, Tyler Gratton navigates into the attacking zone, drags and fires through the goal crease wide. 7-3 Penn State, 3:30 left here. Third period. Servagno, Sarlo, near corner to our left. Below the goal line, it's pinned in the corner. Servagno, who's really impressed the coaches, digs it free. Excavated back to the line. Dowd shot, blocked out front off Sarlo. Gratton soccers it back up the far board. Shoves it far corner. Servagno couldn't flag that down. Hard hit by Servagno, throwing his body into a player. Back to the Penn State line. Shade, errant pass back the other way. And then thrown back down into the Penn State zone. But Eric, that's where you do rely on your culture when you start to look at the depth. There are going to be some positives and negatives to it as the Nittany Lions ice it here.
Yeah, and a guy was asked about that in preseason media. He was asked, you have this depth now. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? And he said, well, we're not really sure yet because of you don't know how guys are going to react. And he said exactly what you're saying. This is where your culture is going to make or break that situation. If your culture is good and can handle it, having depth like that is great. If your culture can't handle it, that's a problem, and it remains to be seen what the answer to that question will be. But from everything we're hearing about where the team culture is at right now, I don't see it being a problem. I think it is good to have this type of depth because it creates more battles. It forces guys to elevate their game if they want to remain in the lineup.
And if you look back at the history of the program with 2:50 to play and Penn State up 7-3 here in the third, Canisius into the Penn State zone, rolls towards the goal. Hernandez drives the net. It went wide of the left pad of Grannon. Penn State again clears it out of play. Face-off will stay in their zone. If you look back at the history of the program, the numbers on the roster have never been that big. Guy usually only has 2-3 scratches. Last year it was even smaller just because of a couple of culture things as the year went on. You add in Lucas, it's a revelation, all that. But the roster numbers are way bigger than any of the previous 10 seasons here. Students loving this tonight. Everyone is. What a good start to the year. It's great to be back here at Pagula. Great to be back doing these games as well, alongside my good friend Eric Olson, Brian Tripp. 2:30 left, and Mastrodonato skates into the far circle. Centers, Hernandez, shot, scores! In the low slot, buries it. Blocker side on Grannon. 7-4 the score, 2:25 left in the third. You know, you're going to look up at the end of the night. Canisius has 4 right now. Not indicative of how Noah Grannon has played. He has been really good here in his debut.
Yeah, not at all. He's faced some really good shots, Grannon has. And there, Penn State tries to recover defensively, but they work it. It's a little bit of a 3-on-2. Mastrodonato holds as a defender slides by, works it up to Hernandez just below the hash marks, and he's got a clean look at Grannon, beats him under the blocker. That's a tough opportunity for Grannon to face.
And I think the coaches will say that last night as well. They gave up too many grade A's here in the series. I think different reasons last night on miscues. Canisius has worked hard for its opportunities tonight. And Penn State, again, as there's a long shot by DeGrande, who's been spectacular. It's sticked out by Grannon and out of play. Penn State has weathered storms here in the series and has gotten terrific goaltending both nights.
Yeah, they really have. And it's 4 goals on 31 shots right now. That's not a bad performance by a goaltender, certainly in your first career start facing a veteran team in Canisius. It's the oldest team in college hockey. Last night they had 13 senior/graduate players in their lineup.
Penn State experienced as well, returning 94% of its offense, second nationally, second most points returning as well. Air Force returned 100%, then Minnesota State, the defending national runner-ups, the only team with more points returning than Penn State. Shade zipping out of his own zone, showing off some moves there through center, dumps it deep into the Canisius zone. It's 7-4 with 1:40 to play, comes free out front, angled towards the goal, Servagno. He's tied up, never got all the way through. Man lost an edge. Lucas looking for that puck in the attacking zone to our left, kept in by Dowd, still batting at that puck. Whacks it along Servagno, back towards Dowd, and now it flutters over his stick. DeGrande into the Penn State zone. It's a 2-on-3 now as Dowd back checks, still loose near circle. Gratton rubs a man off the puck with 1:20 left. Penn State leads 7-4. Don't forget, 7 o'clock Thursday against Mercyhurst here. Tripp at center. Penn State commits a penalty. Tyler Gratton, the guilty party. To the bench, Hawthorne, extra attacker comes on as Berger contacts the puck. Kuznetsov was trying to wheel and deal. 1:05 left in the third, 7-4 Penn State. They've done some good things to close it in the third. They've also done some things that Guy will use as teaching lessons after it.
Yeah, certainly not what you want to have to do to close out the last minute 5 of a game, and that's kill a penalty. But you view it as an opportunity to work on the PK again and get some more practice at that and try to end on a high note, killing the last minute and 5 seconds.
5 PKs, way too many here tonight. Canisius wins the draw, point to point. Hernandez slides it back high slot. Melaragni backdoor shot. Mastrodonato partially deflected, went wide. Didn't matter. Grannon detected it. He was sealing that far post in great positioning. Battle for the puck near corner. Grattan in for the remainder of this, unless Canisius will score another power play tally. 45 seconds left. Penn State up 7-4. Back to the line. Melaragni to Mastrodonato. Skates atop the far ring. Below the far circle, Pogue. Pogue back to Melaragni. Big Ten logo, deep slot. Hernandez near circle. Centers. Shot. Mastrodonato. He scores! Another power play goal. It's 7-5 with 32 seconds on the clock. Right between the rings. Hammered it home. Canisius now with 3 third-period goals of its own, and teams are racking up the goals. 12 combined tonight.
Yeah, you can't leave Mastrodonato that open between the hash marks. Penn State has 3 players below the hash marks. Too much open space in the middle, and he's not going to miss from that area of the ice. Again, beats Grandin blocker side.
Little pond hockey here at times. 30 seconds left. Hawthorne goes to the bench. Net is empty. If you're wondering, Kerwin is not out there for Penn State as he has a couple of tallies tonight. DeGrande and boards, 20 seconds left. 7-5 Penn State. Vacant net on the other end, 15 seconds. They're in command here by enough. Mastrodonato centers, banked back to the line, not out. Kept by Chavon, point to point. 9 seconds left. Chavon, center point. Escapes the reach of McEachran. Clock at 4. Angled back to the line. Chipped through center. Calder racing after it. Time will expire as he skates towards the empty goal. And Penn State sweeps Canisius. 7-5. Nittany Lions, the final tonight. 12 goals in the opening weekend, and Penn State starts the new year 2-0. Noah Grannon victorious in his Penn State debut in net. Hard-fought series by both teams, and Penn State wins it 7-5. 5-2 last night, 7-5 the score here tonight.
Well, it wasn't the prettiest end to this game, that's for sure.